Welcome to Christ Church. What an extraordinary 6 months it's been, testing our faith, our resolve, and asking us to be creative with the gifts that God has bestowed on us, both as individuals and as a parish.
When we spent almost 2 years thinking about the future of Christ Church and how to honor our history and our spaces, to innovate and remain vital, we never thought God's calling to use our abundance would arrive in 2020.
On March the 13th, 2020, our local school districts took the bold step of closing schools before it was mandated by the state. It was apparent that the COVID-19 pandemic was insistently knocking on our door. We followed their lead and took the difficult decision of canceling our Sunday services beginning that very weekend. Although our services were canceled, our church remained open and vibrant in new and unexpected ways. Our pivot was immediate, and our first daily meditation was delivered on March the 14th, followed by our first online service on March the 15th. A week later, children and youth programming was also reworked and delivered in an online format.
The pandemic interrupted our search for an associate rector, but we adapted quickly and moved entirely to virtual gatherings, including requisite phone calls, that benefited from a long FaceTime tour of our campus. And after conversations with me and the search committee and others, we took a chance on each other, feeling certain that remotely we knew enough to be able to say yes. And we're so delighted that he's here, and we're so delighted that this first for Christ Church has turned out so well.
Using this time to learn new skills and invest in the tools that would keep our community together, we purchased a new video system that would help us record and ultimately stream services from our sanctuary. We are sure you have noticed how the quality of our recorded offerings has improved incredibly over this period. I also have been busy figuring out how to get our choir singing together again while mitigating COVID risk.
Richard has done this and more. His way of getting the choir to sing real time using shortwave radio broadcasting has enabled us to get creative and devise our Sunday drive-in services, communion in cars with clergy. And our online presence has all but exploded with the choir masterpieces, hundreds of parishioners, and a lot of new viewers from all over the country.
We also took this time to introduce you all to Realm, our new church communication tool, which will help us to build a community within our church. And while we can't gather for social celebrations yet, we used our COVID downtime to roll up our sleeves and do-it-yourself renovate the kitchen at 470 Maple on a shoestring budget. We will be ready to return to gathering with a fully functioning industrial kitchen that will expand our capabilities. It's going to be one amazing celebration when we christen that kitchen.
One of the 2040 committee recommendations was that we hire a new communications director to oversee all church communications and help us grow our community from within and without. We're thrilled that Dee Macy was hired this summer, and she'll oversee our digital presence through social media and help keep us connected while we remain apart.
God's gift of our church in all its abundance has enabled us to continue our work as we are blessed with beautiful outdoor spaces that have been and continue to be reimagined as spaces to worship and spaces to gather and learn about our faith.
Through our youth, we remain certain about Christ Church's promising future. They have adapted to this global pandemic by helping those in need in new, creative ways and by participating virtually in our weekly services. The strength and resilience of our youth will help Christ Church adapt to whatever the future holds.
The guiding principles of 2040 have played out over the past 6 months as we have dealt with uncertainty and rapid change as a parish and as members of a greater community. While we have embraced innovation and change, we have remained committed to our faithful core and have been mindful to preserve our history and traditions. We have supported our members by offering a myriad of ways to meet and worship. We have sustained an inward focus on our cherished core by giving them a voice through service participation and meditations. We are sharing our love of Christ through reaching new members through our online offerings and our joyous gift of singing. And we have outwardly witnessed the presence of a living God each time we have learned a new skill, gotten creative, practiced patience, and shared our gifts. Together in service, together in faith, together we rise.